Ben, the last time I spoke to you, it was a very late winner in front of the Stretford end. Not so late this time around, but a huge 3 points you've secured again.
Oh yeah, it was really important for us to win this game. It was really difficult. Yeah, we were fighting, they were fighting. It was really like 50-50 battle. But yeah, we managed it till the end and yeah, secured a win.
But this form that you're finding yourself in right now, you're coming off the bench, you're showing that impact. How close are you, do you feel, to making it from the start?
For me, it's just important whenever I come inside, I use my time. I try to help the team because that's why I'm here. If I get 5 minutes, if I get 90 minutes, doesn't really matter. It's just about showing and deliver if I possibly can. And yeah, I'm really happy with it.
But when you were watching from the bench, did you feel you were going to make another impact? Because it just seems so routine for you now.
I have belief in me, and so like players have as well. They know what they're gonna get when I arrive in the game, and yeah, then it's up to me to deliver, of course.
Which you did. Congratulations, well done.
Thank you so much.
Live now. Congratulations, Senna. Did your team have to work hard for that this evening?
Yeah, I think that's what it was today, more about the hard work, about the defending togetherness. We know we didn't play our best, especially the first half. It was really difficult. Yeah, and I think we have to be better on the ball. But then you can see if you work together, if you defend well, if you don't give goals away, then we have players on top who can make the difference. One flash, one counter, and then you can score. And if you keep the zero, then you can win away in this hard game. So I'm really happy today.
Were you confident that one goal might be enough? Were you confident that if the attackers did their work, that you'd be able to keep them out at the other end?
Yeah, of course, I always want to be confident. I think since the manager's in as well, we've been defending really well together, actually all season almost. So we knew, yeah, if me personally and the defense give us a chance, keep the zero, then we always have a chance to win, and that was the case today. Like I said, it wasn't the prettiest one, but if you work that hard for it, sometimes it's the best one.
Hey Senna, good evening, Ed van der Sar. Congratulations with the win. Extremely important, of course, and I think also your role, the corners, they were horrible. 8, 9, 10, 12 people around you and everything, so it was a big fight. But with your age, 23, first year in the Premier League, you're really dealing well, incredibly well with these circumstances, and yeah, a couple of good saves, good hands. The free kick in the first half, some shots in the second half, so compliments on your all-around game, man.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we knew it was going to be difficult. I mean, they're a really physical team, especially their defense is really big. So we knew that the corners and the set pieces were going to be really difficult. It's a strength of mine, so I'm happy I could help the team again today. In the end, it was a bit over the top for me personally, because I couldn't even be inside. I couldn't even be inside the goal. I had to be behind the line to come out. So I think that's a bit too much, but yeah. It's also difficult sometimes for the referees to see it. So, yeah, I'm just really happy today that we could win and that I was important in it. It's
an increasing part of the game, isn't it? It's an increasing thing that goalkeepers are having to deal with. As you say there, you've got 10, 12 players around you. So what are you thinking about when that ball is coming in and the area is so congested? Yeah, like you said, it's getting more and more difficult. Sometimes it's also, you can't be too much thinking about the players around you because then you don't think about the ball. But it's also my defenders and my teammates who help me. They push around the attackers of them, so they create space for me a little bit. So I have the opportunity to come out on those crosses and punch it away. Yeah, but it's getting more and more difficult.
For example, in the past you only had maybe 2 players around you, and whatever you could push them a little bit, so you had some space to come out. But this is you don't have a run up. Yeah. You just stand there on the line. You have 6, 8, 12 people in front of you. So, and think you had some great punches to clear it and 2 catches. So. Yeah, well done for your first year in the Premier League, man. And also, Senna, you had to make a couple of saves. You had to stay sharp in the end. They were testing you out, I suppose, more from long range, but you had to have your wits about you here. Michael Keane first. It's a good save. You seeing this? Mm-hmm. And Tyreek George as well. That one came with real power. And how important was it that you actually kept hold of it there, which you seem to do a lot? Yeah, I like to take pride in it. Yeah, they always say you have to protect yourself a little bit, but I feel like if I can keep the ball in that situation, I can help the defense out really much. So I'll take my chances, and on training also, I try to train on it to keep the ball there.
not give second chances away or as little as possible. So yeah, I'm happy that I could help the team in that way as well with a couple of saves there.
And I have to say to you as well, Senna, watching this with Edwin van der Sar tonight, he's been really complimentary about you all night, not just to your face as well. But he has sort of said that personality-wise, you seem to be quite similar because you're both pretty laid-back kind of guys. Is that perfect for Manchester United?
I think so, yeah. I think as a keeper in general, of course, in Manchester United, the pressure is even bigger, I think. But just try to stay calm, play my own game. I know I have the qualities, I wouldn't be here otherwise. So just believe in myself. The players around me and my teammates support me really much. So it was a really good transition for me. And now I just keep on building, keep getting that confidence. Like today, getting those wins being important is really important. And yeah, like you said, if I'm in the comparison with Edwin van der Sar, it's always nice to hear. So it's also nice, yeah.
Well played, Senna. Congratulations. And well done on a very good 3 points as well. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you. Bye-bye, guys. See you.
Benjamin Šeško, the Manchester United hero, to get all 3 points in that 1-0 win away at Everton that has them in fourth, 3 points clear of Chelsea and Liverpool. Reaction from Hill Dickinson on the way. But Michael Carrick, your old teammate, 6 played, 5 wins, 1 draw. I mean, and there they are, 3 points clear in fourth.
It's not bad, is it? It's not a bad record, what he's done. You know, I said it before the show, the confidence that, you know, he's allowed the players to have to go and express himself out on the pitch. You know, you see it. It was a tough game. It was a tough first half, but, you know, I'm sure at half-time we would have said, if we put the passes together, if we stop giving the ball away, you know, and at times we can play on the counter-attack because, you know, Everton are going to come out there with the home team. They want to come out and show their fans that they're on the front foot. We can get in behind them, and, you know, they showed it fantastically well with the goal that they scored. And, you know, the 3 new signings combined. But, you know, Šeško, again, was fantastic.
And as you rightly say, it was a different type of performance tonight, not necessarily the free-flowing, you know, counter-attacks, goals, lots of chances that we've seen in previous games. And they had to dig in as well at the end, didn't they?
They did. I mean, they showed real grit at the end. I mean, some of those corners were bang on the money, right on top of the goalkeeper.
9 corners Everton had in that second half alone.
Yeah, they defended them really, really well. I just think this team is really suited to taking a bit of pressure, hitting on counter-attack. You look at the pace that they've got now. I mean, Šeško's not slow. We'll see later on his goal and the way he sprints clear of Tarkowski as well. They've got pace on the counter-attack, and actually their back four, it suits them sitting a little bit deep.
Well, managers are judged on their substitutions. He made this 57 minutes in, and this is his first involvement.
Yeah, and this is a chance, you know, Steve. Of course, people will say, well, it slipped, there's no shot on target or anything, but this is 2v1. And I don't blame Cunha at all. I mean, the way he commits, the way he uses his speed, it actually turns this chance into a 2v1. If he had just stayed on his feet, he would have actually been shooting with his next touch, or he'd be cutting it back into Šeško. And then, of course, moments later, a similar occurrence, another 2v1. Look at Šeško at the bottom of your screen. Look how quick he is. I mean, he's streaking clear of Tarkowski there, so there's a lot of pace on that Manchester United counter-attack.
There was so much pace on it there. You look, Šeško is involved, he sets the ball off, and then, you know, he knows where he wants to get. Cunha plays a fantastic ball to Mbeumo, and, you know, I'm not sure whether Mbeumo meant to take the touch back inside, but, you know, the weight of the pass as well into Šeško's path was, you know, it was ideal for him just to stride onto it, and, you know, the finish itself, like you said, the pace that he showed to get away from Tarkowski, and, you know, Tark is not slow. But to finish it off in the way that he did, it was just fantastic. A man is full of confidence.
He couldn't have put that on the more perfect blade of grass there in Mbeumo. The right pace, the right angle, everything about it. I mean, listen, scoring goals is a hard thing to do, but that was as easy a finish as Šeško will have all season, really. He could do that with his eyes closed.
It's some turnaround, isn't it? I mean, he only scored twice all season under Ruben Amorim. Since he left, he's had 7 appearances and 6 goals, Benjamin Šeško.
Yeah. Obviously, it presents itself when you're a centre-forward because you can see the results, you can see the goal return, you can see the numbers that back it up. But I'd argue that there's lots of players, actually, that their stats would be right up. You know, look at the results, look at the performances, look at the clean sheets, look at all the kinds of things under Michael Carrick. There's certainly been, you know, a vast improvement. We looked at them before the game, and we can see them now.
But in Šeško's case, is that just a little bit of love, a little bit of someone getting inside his head, obviously creating more chances than perhaps they did under Amorim?
And a little bit of players playing in the right position, and a little bit of Fernandes playing as a 10 and not as a 6, and a little bit of all of these things. Of course it is. Yeah, confidence, players that you're playing with, the way the team are playing at the moment, playing to his strengths. Of course, they all contribute. So I just think that, yeah, I mean, there's obviously been a big change in formation, back to what they know best, really, and then the players playing in their rightful positions, Kobbie Mainoo coming in, Fernandes going a little bit further forward, and then they've got pace up front. And as I say, the next big challenge for Manchester United, and it'll come in time, it won't come this season probably, but is to be able to go to an Everton and control possession, dictate a game in their half, and to be able to do that against good teams. At the moment, I still see them as being good against the best teams. I think Manchester United almost, they won't admit it, but almost prefer not having the ball for large periods and breaking. That break tonight was perfect. And Everton didn't look like scoring, really. I mean, someone like Harry Maguire, Martinez, Yoro, all of these players, they're as good at defending their edge of the box as any defenders in the country. So it really, really suits them to sit that far back and, of course, with the pace on the counter-attack. So everything's looking good at the moment. As I say, there'll be a little bit more improvement needed if they're going to go to the top of the table. But, you know, you've got to do that step by step.
And in terms of Šeško, he scored a couple of goals, including West Ham, hasn't started, must have been disappointed. But all 3 goals under Michael Carrick have come off the bench. He's shown that attitude to go on and make an impact.
Something that Carroll's will be saying as well. You know, you just keep bringing the attitude, keep doing what you've been doing in training, and, you know, the goals will come. Or, OK, you want to start games. Of course, everyone wants to start games, but there's competition for places, and right now Carroll's is seeing a different formation, and, you know, he's seeing the impact that he's making off the bench. He's scoring goals. You probably said to him tonight, make sure you're ready. Like you said, the 57th minute he comes on. He has a great involvement straight away. And then he gets the goal. So, you know, he was fantastic. And if he's going to keep doing that impact, you know, he'll be on the bench a little bit.
Sky Sports Studios in West London, Joe Spate, Lee Dixon and Graham Lasso. And you have to say that was a perfect away performance, Lee, for Manchester United.
Yeah, I mean, we got a bit more from Everton in the second half, but you always felt that United had the quality to hit Everton on the break when they started pushing forward, and that was exactly what they did. And when you look at Michael Carrick's record now, he's building an argument. They certainly say, you know, everything about them, you know, from front to back. They weren't massively impressive in the first half, but there was a big difference in the way they attack the game and the weapons that they've got up front, especially Super Sub, who's coming on and making a real deal of it, isn't he?
And we call them now finishers, don't we, Graham? Players coming off the bench and making that impact late on.
Yeah, and obviously with 5 subs now, post-COVID, it gives you the opportunity to mix things up a little bit. And I just think when you look at Michael Carrick and the team now, it wasn't a classic performance. They didn't play particularly well. Some of the quality, Fernandes was below his sort of normal high standards. They felt a little bit sort of clunky in the way they played, and some of that's down to the way Everton set up very defensively. But it just goes back to the point you have to find different ways to win games of football. And they solved that problem really well today. And again, I think it goes back to the point that with the players playing in a shape that they're really comfortable with, it feels much more natural for them. You can afford not to play as well. You can have a 6 out of 10 performance across the board, but you can still get the job done because there's quality moments that good players have within a game. But you can only do that if you're already, you know, you've got a good base, and that proved to be the case.
It is the Tim Howard derby, of course, and we should pay mention to the fact that's their first away clean sheet this season, so their first away clean sheet for Lomans, who looks the part now in goal.
Yeah, and he was put under an awful lot of pressure, especially from set pieces. The ball underneath the crossbar, we've seen it. It's what everybody's doing at the moment. But the amount of traffic there, and he just stands there confident as you like. He looks like he's been there for years, and it wasn't that long ago that they were really struggling in that department. But he's taken the game as if he's been there for many years.
And where would you assess things in terms of Everton's viewpoint, Everton fans leaving there tonight?
Well, I think that really typifies where Everton are at the moment as a team. You know, you can't question their work rate, their effort, their endeavour. But what you can do is you can look at the lack of sort of creativity in the team. And David Moyes sort of rolling the dice a bit after going 1-0 down with both Beto and Tierno Barry on the pitch. They created a few more chances, got a few bodies ahead of the ball, but you need to see that, particularly at home, from a team like Everton with that crowd. You need to see them displaying more positive sort of way of playing, I think, sooner in the game.
The fans will be really disappointed with that because they saw the second half performance and then they look, why can't we do that from the start? There's more to it than that, and David Moyes knows a little bit more about it than perhaps we do and the fans do, but that's the way they've chosen to play at the moment.
United with people in those roles in terms of, you know, looking at Michael Carrick and how suited he is to taking on the job long term, or also other options from abroad?
Yeah, of course, I think they are delighted that they see the results that they're having. Of course, they're much closer on the training ground and seeing what's happening, the atmosphere around it, the joy, the technical changes there have been. But yeah, in my opinion, a director or a club, they need to put like a dual track system, so you can see what's happening Monday Night Football. You can see what's happening today again. Next weekend you have a match, but you have to prepare also for maybe worse times. You could lose tonight, you could lose the next match, and then all the questions will be probably in reverse. Yeah, everything is rosy now. So as a club organization, you must know what other possibilities, perspective you can have about managers who become available, who are there yet. Of course, yet Amorim, big talent coming from Portugal, didn't really fit into the system. So you must really know, what does a club need? What is the philosophy of the club? I think one great big example is of Kobe Mainoo not getting a game under Amorim. The value of the youth system, bringing young players through, is not only at Ajax but also Man United a set in stone. So to give him the opportunity and put him back in the team, that lifts so many, not only the supporters but also the younger players in the club. So there's still a chance for myself to be there, and that gives pride to a lot of people.
So we've got former CEO experience here in Edwin van der Sar. We've got Gary Neville.
No, Gary Neville's always talking about the famous, central defenders in front here. Who was to blame, Gary?
Do you know something? That's a really difficult one, that one. Do you know did you watch Stephen Pienaar's run across the face? That's the challenging one, when you half go with that and then that one pulls round the back. Yeah, should have done better though.
Gary, how good was it to have this man behind you for all those years? As he says, he came with great experience that time as well.
Yeah, it was fantastic. We'd been through a real period of instability with goalkeepers, Dave, where we changed so many. I don't know how many we had. We must have had 5, 6 or 7 in a probably 4 or 5 year period. And then when Edwin came, it seemed to restore order. He was so calm. He never really felt like he was sweating in football matches. And he was never panicking. He was very experienced. He's just what we needed at a point whereby we're quite a young team, a back four that was trying to re-establish itself. And from that moment on, if you look at Edwin's record there, I think in a 5-year period from 2006 to 11, 4 Premier League titles in 5 years, 3 Champions League finals, obviously some cup victories as well. It was an incredible period for the club, and Edwin was at the heart of that.
It certainly was. And of course, Manchester United are trying to get back there, and they've got a big decision facing them this summer in terms of the direction and the head coach. You've been pretty firm on this, Gary, so far. I think, in terms of Manchester United should wait until the summer and go with an experienced figure. Is there anything that Michael Carrick can do in that time to change your view?
Look, I think that Manchester United have to pursue another manager right now on the basis of what Edwin's just said around the fact that you don't know how the results are going to go. But I think, look, little things like Tuchel re-signing with England does start to take away the options for Manchester United and mean that it doesn't harm Michael's chances of getting the job. Look, I think if he gets into the Champions League, then there'll be a lot of fever, I would imagine, around that he should be appointed. So, look, I'm not against Michael being appointed. I love him to bits and think that he's done an incredible job so far. I just feel that Manchester United should go for the best-in-class manager available. They've had young managers or sort of inexperienced managers in the last 2. It's not quite worked. Obviously, Ollie's come in before. He was an ex-player. He did a very good job for a couple of years. But again, that didn't work in the end. So I just feel removing as much risk as possible is the right option. But that, people will know me that that's not personal against Michael, because I love him to bits. He's a great lad, a great player, and someone who's doing a very good job as a coach now.
Might there be other factors, though, Gary, that come into play around Michael Carrick? And I'm not just talking about results, but maybe, tactical flexibility, beating all types of opposition in all types of circumstances. Maybe even the way he handles the press, and he's had a couple of curveballs to deal with already as United boss.
Yeah, I mean, his problems, to be fair, I think with the press haven't come from any football questions. His problems have come, obviously, with what Jim Ratcliffe said a couple of weeks ago. That's been his major problem, obviously. It was a little bit more difficult for him on Friday, but that's nothing to do with him. I mean, he was in an unenviable position of having to try and not go against his owner, but obviously support the sort of what be wider club position, which was to put a statement out, sort of distancing themselves. So I don't think Michael's got any problems with the press. He handles it really well. He doesn't get carried away. Tactically, look, it's been a problem for Manchester United managers to dominate possession. There's only Louis van Gaal since Sir Alex Ferguson left that I think has really come in and mastered possession. The rest of them have mainly played on the counter-attack. Michael, I think, in his first few games with the quality of opposition was able to play on the counter-attack as well. It was a little bit more difficult at West Ham away, but tonight look, they'll have another opportunity to see how they can do against a team that probably play better without the ball, or do play better without the ball.
Gary, you've been in Everton's magnificent new stadium for the last hour, and you've been enjoying the hospitality, I believe.
Oh, honestly, Cara, these things, right?
What's that?
Honestly, I mean, I know they're blue and you really shouldn't be eating them because they're full of calories and everything like that, but they do these toffee donuts here. They're absolutely incredible, and anybody who can get their hands on one should have one, honestly. Thank you, Brett.
How many have you had, Gary? How many have you had?
I've had half of one so far, but I've got another one travelling up to the gantry with me.
Gary, thank you very much, and we can just confirm as well, and Gary would be interested to hear this news.
Well, there you go. Like us, you know him very well. You shared a dressing room and a pitch with him many, many times. I guess it's no surprise to you the way he's taken to life at United in these 5 games.
No, it hasn't at all. We all know him and know what his character's like. He's so laid back, but when he talks, he gets people to listen. I think he went into the job and he was just talking to the players in a way that he just wanted them to work hard. At times he had a structure that he said to them, this is what I've been built on. This is what he knew before. And I think he's just implemented that as a player. He took it from the boss, Sir Alex, and he's using that. And I think you look at the confidence that's going through the squad now. All the players feel confident. He's given them that confidence to go out there and play and get wins on the board, which is the most important thing. And I'm delighted for him. And I always knew that if he got another opportunity as the manager to take over and do good things, then he's always going to do that.
Listen, you've captained this club. You know it inside out. There's been an awful lot has been said about him understanding the club and the length of time he's been there. I mean, it gives an idea of how important that is at a club like United, and perhaps some of the other managers haven't quite grasped that.
I think it's so important when you know the club, when you've played for the club, represented the club for as many years as Carrick has. He knows the club inside out. Just little things like going to watch the youth teams and in the Youth Cup is, it's massive. It's massive for the younger players to see that, the first team manager's here, and not just the manager, all of his staff go as well. That's what Manchester United has been bred on, the younger players coming through and getting into the first team. And, I think he'll be saying that, I'm watching you, so make sure you're doing the right things, make sure you've got the Man United values, and you're able to, if ever called upon, go into the first team and show what you can do. So, I always had no doubt in my mind that he was going to be a fantastic manager. He's got that nature, and I don't think there's anybody that can say that they don't like him, because he's just got that way about him.
Yeah, agreed. That's the man management side of it. We thought after 5 games now there was a starting point to have a look at his style and perhaps what went before him with Ruben Amorim as well. And you've got a few figures.
It's not just a small sample now, as we know. It's 5 games. It's something that you can maybe hang your hat on a little bit more. But the stats are there in defence. They're not necessarily pressing as much as an Amorim team. They might be sitting back, might be playing to their advantage a little bit more. They're certainly conceding less. They're allowing opposition to make a few passes against them. But they're not getting caught out. They're not getting caught out of position in attack themselves. Not having so many shots, but I think the conversion rate and the quality of chances and, of course, the goals there are all up. So we just have a couple of little examples. I mean, this is under Amorim. This is a vulnerable position that Manchester United are in. Manchester United, in my book, don't really want to be playing too much of a high line with certain players that are playing, namely Harry Maguire, one of the best defenders in the country, when he's sat in this position. Now, this is under Michael Carrick, and of course you can see not much space in behind. The two lines are really compact, and it's very, very difficult to play against a team that are compact, that aren't giving you space. And then once you do win the ball, you can break with a lot of pace, which they've got. Again, this is back to Amorim. Some of the chances that they were creating, a lot of it was desperation stuff. There's maybe little slot passes into the attacking players there, but a lot of the time it was speculative shots, whereas under Michael Carrick, I feel that the chances are a lot better. They're breaking with a purpose, they're breaking with numbers, their choice of passes better, their finishing is much more accurate. And it's just sharpened that focus. So, again, we can put it into numbers and you can see an improvement. And when you look at a lot of the clips as well, you can see an improvement there. And then Ashley mentioned before about the confidence that Michael Carrick can give the players, and then you're winning and you're getting better chances and the strikers start scoring and everything starts snowballing. I think that's what you're seeing at the moment.
And you talked about simplifying things. Is it as simple to say as the players are playing where they're more comfortable and generally happier?
I think the players are much happier. You can tell the formation that they're in. You know, I spoke about Bruno Fernandes before, and when he was playing in a deeper role when Ruben Amorim was in charge, he wasn't able to create as he has done when he's playing higher up as a number 10. And when you've got a player like that, when you get him on the ball and he's, you know, finding them passes into the striker, or, you know, he's able to score goals himself, that's when he's at his best. You know, I remember playing teams of Ruben Amorim, and the centre midfield, you know, it was so fast spread. They were running all over the place, and it was one of the things that us as teams used to say, play through the middle, because they'll be vacating the middle of the park. Whereas now you're seeing that under Michael Carrick, it's more of a stable positions there, as the midfielders are not having to run and chase all around, because, you know, they're playing compact, like Mo just pointed out there, that, you know, there's 10 yards between the lines and stuff like that, and, you know, the defence can get up, the midfield can get up, the forwards can get up. When you've got a team doing it all together, it's something that Michael definitely would have worked on. And, you know, when the players buy into that and they know their jobs and they're not running all over the place, then it's more stable and it's better for the team as a whole.